Hi, David Erdos with Poem 85 from David's COVID 2020 vision. Think Floyd. George Floyd's final words read like one of the last Beckett poems. His repeated pleas as they crushed him, a broken bubble of air in his throat. As Derek Chauvin stamped the life from this man, you could hear the sudden return of the jackboot. But on American soil, that rebranding came with a police uniform and blood moat. For this is the castle they keep, whose gates were stormed right through to the weekend, as opposition spread like wildfire and like a virus too on Death Street, across the US and the world, and lockdown leased here in London, as the fear of what happens or of what can happen soon fuels stilled feet. They will kill us all in the end, if we rise against such dark action. The stark opposition in cities will bring the boot polish out in the camps. President Trump, the dumb scum, will have his commandant togs sent from maces, as he preens and prattles while the curb where Floyd died remains damp. And so a new martyr is made, when we would wish for none, as wounds deepen. The children bored at home of their parents are about to be released from the cage as the anti-social distance is seen as suddenly secondary, and the primary children and the adults abroad unleash rage. When so-called elected leaders decry the reactions and thoughts of their people, history repeats swiftly on a continual loop with new clothes, whose colours soon blur as blood is churned in the mixer and the crimes perpetrated belong to the fat, pink hand we all loathe. Hold someone down for too long, and the life rivers from them. That return to the water from which we all came is begun. Here it is a river of blood and a sea of tears for a victim who died because a $20 bill was suspected as he tried to pay for his lunch. And so the white once again stained the black, with the hate they always say has been vanquished. After Eric Gardner, another, and back to Rodney King, that's the crunch. And now empires of hate have built up under this brand new oppression, and the rage of those rivers in bursting the banks fills all cups. Prejudice of this kind is familiar, of course, and then acid. Black people have always endured it, as of course have the Jews, and the Palestinians at their hands, and the Lebanese, and the Irish. Every place fills with poison, not all of which stains the news. But we would have thought, we'd have hoped, that at this startling time of division, a normal man in a deli would not become beaten steak. Across the world, anger fries as we prepare to sift through smoke. We're all burning. Weed Trump's reaction and watch as the world starts to break. Will it break for the best? With the dead bark split, fruit is growing. But sadly here it is strange fruit, as in the song by Nina Simone, Hate's Numbed Taste. Apparently, Chauvin's on suicide watch. Does this mean the shame claims him? Or is that just the process with which they seek to convince us now of said guilt? Perhaps we should hang him from a tree and see the bitter crop spread around him. The man with the mask and umbrella was the first to shatter glass. What's been built? Clearly a second structure of lies, there to incite and smudge focus after the global snuff movie was made to incur our outrage. Some believe this Chamberlain was a cop. Certainly his entire stance was a riot, and there is a clear strain of thinking that sees this as a second biblical stage, in which the feared slaves are smashed down as the white world feels threatened. A dark preparation through which the signal glare fans the flame, that witnesses the world as it burns. Trump can only melt. He's warped plastic. Cummings is sulphur, but above and beyond them, as our statutes shake, what's been learnt? We are being pushed back to work, charting our lives, remaining chance on the tube map, as they actively prepare for a new strain once others die serving them. Get the economy fed, and new graves too, there's no question. Remember that Chauvin was filmed for 9 minutes as he brought a black man to his end. Now black and white clash for the right to riot. Meanwhile, another face finds its dinner, and the angel of death makes new friends. The lies rise from lies that surround now to slice us. Windows weep just like widows. In our hands now are mirrors, reflecting back fate's pretense. David Erdos, June the 1st, 2020.